Happy Monday, knitters. I'm Louise from Wildflower Wool, and welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, which means it is another brand new episode of New Start Monday Knits. As you can see, I am up here in my yarn room. I was on vacation last week. I took some time. I did some organizing, and I have room that I can come up here, set up the tripod, and I can record. So these shelves here haven't been touched, so they're still kind of a jumbled mess, but I thought, whatever. I'm just going to sit up here and record. So if you are at all interested in following along on my journey on this yarn room reorganization, video number 1 has already been posted a couple of days ago. So you can always go back and check that out. I'll give you a little heads up warning. The room, and when I scan around this whole entire room, it is still a considerable mess. So don't be expecting to see a finished, organized yarn room, because this journey, I'm bringing you along for the journey of the work in progress. So you're going to see the good, the bad, the messy, and hopefully a good finished project at the end. Okay, let's talk knitting. Last week's dishcloth. So you guys all know that I am working on a dishcloth a week, so I can have at least 52 done. This is the one that I worked on, and you know what? I think I see a mistake. Right there. Can you see it? You're probably now looking right and you're going, yep, I can see it now, Louise. Right there. This row right across here. There looks like there's an extra row or something in there, doesn't there? Not that it doesn't actually look bad. If I repeated that a few times, it would be a stitch pattern. Okay, that leads me into my little talk about, dang, look at that. Oh, well, it's a dishcloth. It'll be fine for a dishcloth, but that still bothers me. And you know what? This pattern here, I am in the search for finding my next favorite dishcloth. I really, really love the simplicity of the Super Simple Diamond dishcloth. It's garter stitch, simple increases and decreases. You can do one in an evening. It's pretty easy. But I thought, if I wanted to just kind of up my game a little bit and find something with a little bit more of a pattern, something a little more different than just garter stitch. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way so I don't see my mistake. And I thought, so I went back, because I've knit this before. I knit this back, I don't know, a few months ago. So I went back through my notes and I found the pattern and I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to try this again. And I liked knitting it. But this was my second go, because I did get part way up and I found another kind of blippy error that I must have got the pattern rows mixed up. And I actually pulled it back, picked up some stitches and kept going. And I thought it was good until I looked at it right now. So maybe this pattern isn't in my short list of patterns in search of the perfect pattern. So I'm kind of thinking, what would your criteria be for the perfect dishcloth pattern? I'm kind of thinking it needs to be simple, maybe simpler than this. I want it to be simple, something that I can pick up and put down without messing up the pattern. I guess that kind of vetoes this one, doesn't it? Since I tried it twice, I messed it up both times. But I want something that's simple, that's easy, that's quick. I don't want something that I have to think about too much. I'd still like to be able to have it done within a day, like an afternoon and evening kind of thing. So maybe like no more than a 4-row repeat, because then I find that'll get too hard. 4 rows, I think, well, maybe not. This was a 4-row repeat. Maybe I should lower my expectations and go with a 2-row repeat. Anyway, so I'm thinking no more than 4, so I can read my stitches, be able to get it done in a night. I don't think I care that it has to be reversible, because this is a fun textured pattern and the back is fun texture. They're not the same, but this doesn't look like a wrong side. It just looks pretty in a different way, and I'm happy with that. So
does that mean I do kind of like this, and it is easy to do. There's no purling, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't, my next favorite pattern could have purling in it. I'd be okay with that. Anyways, I think I need to get like a consolidated list of my criteria. I need to be able to knit it without messing it up. That should be the top. That should be so, but maybe I really want this pattern to work. Can you tell I'm trying to talk myself into it? Maybe I need to be able to knit it twice. That's not going to be real simple though, is it? I don't know. I think this is going to be a work in progress. Anyways, I do like this. The edges don't curl. Maybe I just need to do it again. Maybe I need to redo it one more time before maybe I need a rating system, like a scale of 1 to 5, or maybe 1 to 3. Keep it really simple. Like 1 is like the super simple diamond dishcloth or plain garter stitch. As simple, easy as can be, 1 row repeat. A number, giving it a 3 would be, it's all good, but you have to pay a little bit of attention. I don't know. I'm just talking off the top of my head here. I'm sure you guys will give me some comments. So what would be your criteria? Would it have to be reversible? How many row repeat would you want? I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little more thinking on this. I feel like I am like formulating a grand plan here, but I need to do a little more thinking about it. But anyways, I'm going to keep this one in the running, and maybe I'll reknit it. Maybe I had an off day. Can you tell I really want this one? I don't want to have to veto this one because I really do like it. And you know what? And maybe somebody else could probably knit it up in a flash and have no problems. It was probably just user error that I messed up. Obviously, it was user error, right? Because what else could it be? I was obviously watching whatever I was watching and mucked it up. But that's the beauty of dishcloths, because they still work anyways. And chances are, you know what? I don't know. It's going to go to probably a non-knitter, and they may not even know. And so what if they do? Right? I mean, really. So what if they do? Anyways, that's enough about that. Let's move on. I asked you guys all last week, these 2 Christmas dishcloths. I am still in love with these, you guys. Which ones you liked? You know, if you could only ever knit one of these dishcloths for your whole entire life kind of thing, which one would you pick? And the answers came back pretty even. If this is first time watching, this is the Christmas cloth. And look at those fun like little butterfly stitches. And this is the modular cloth. Modular dishcloth, I think is what it is. They're both 3 patterns on Ravelry. I think my favorite is this one. I do really, really like this too, but there's something about knitting this with the variegated yarn and just seeing the movement of the yarn I love. But you guys were all 50-50, so I hope that maybe you will add this to your Ravelry library and try whichever one was your favorite, or try both of them. Keep them for you or give them for gifts at Christmas. Okay, what else? Okay, last week's other new start. I've got it sitting up here. Try not to have an avalanche of yarn back here. Was this mitten? So Lopi, just out of my stash, I've got 2 balls of the black and 1 ball of this brown. This is a part ball. I think I used some of this in my sweater last year, or this. Wow, the sweater I started last year and finished this year. So, anyways, this is going to just be a project for stash yarn. And I don't have the book up here again. It is from book 2 of the Saltwater Knitting Mitten book. And I'm just kind of using this as a rough pattern. I was flipping through it and reading it one night before bed.
and I saw a mitt with a striped cuff, and I thought, kind of like that. So I started a striped mitt. As you can tell, I haven't worked much on it. I think I put 2 more stripes in it than there was here probably last time. It is I keep wanting to say a 3x1 rib, but that is not it. It's a 2x1. It's worked over 3 stitches, knit 2, purl 1. So it's not quite as stretchy as a knit 1, purl 1 or a knit 2, purl 2, but I think that's okay. And, I was going to tell you, I wanted to remember to give you guys a little tip. So if there are any newer knitters out there who needed a little tip, if you're working ribbing, if you're switching colors, like I am, I'm doing 3 rows of black, 3 rows of brown, 3 rows of black, 3 rows of brown. When you work ribbing and you change colors, anytime you work purl stitches, you get these little blips here. So obviously you don't want that on the right side of your work. So what you do, if you're working in ribbing and you're switching colors, so after I've done my 3 rows of black and I switched to the brown, if I just kept working knit 2, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1, I would end up with a little blip of color showing through on my purl stitch. So what I have done, and you can't even tell it here, is on that first row of brown, I have just knit all the way around. Haven't worried about doing ribbing at all. And then once I get back to the beginning of my round, then I start doing my ribbing pattern for 2 rows. And then when I get up here to my black, I've just worked black knit row and then do 2 rows of ribbing. And you can't even tell that 1 knit row is in there, but it gives you just a perfect color change. That's it. No interruption in the pattern or in the colors. So that's just a little tip if you haven't tried that before. So my mitt is going good. I'm liking knitting it. I really, you know what? I have no idea what I'm going to do once I get the cuff done. The mitten pattern I'm following I think it has a heart on it. I don't know if I'm going to do the heart pattern, the hand, I don't know. So stay tuned. We'll see what I decide. See what I decide to do with this mitten. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stripe it all the way up the hand. I could just do that, couldn't I? That really wasn't the plan. I was going to do kind of a colorwork pattern. I don't know. It'll be a mystery. Stay tuned till next week and see what happens to the mitten. Okay, what else did I work on this week? I worked on a few things. Okay, this is in the way. Okay, I'm going to show you this next. I pulled out the scarf. I've been working on this for a few weeks, and I knit a little bit and I put it down and knit a little bit and put it down. So Karen Cakes. But look, telltale sign that I'm making some headway on the project. This poor ball is getting pretty flimsy. The center, the center is knit out of there. So I guess that's a good thing, other than as long as it doesn't kind of all collapse on itself and get tangled. I generally don't have a problem as long as I don't move it around too much, as long as I leave it kind of laying flat. I guess I could always rewind it or wind it into a ball, and then I wouldn't have any problem. But I think I'll just take my chances and try not to get too tangled. But look, I've got one whole color change done since I last showed you this. This was where my stitch marker was. I had just started the green, probably a couple of rows of green. I finished all the green, and I've just started into the blue. It's always so fun when you go from one color to the next. It feels like you're hitting a milestone and you're really making some big progress. So look at that. So there's green, there's yellow, orange, red, and blue. This was called, I think, what was it? Rainbow something. Rainbow sprinkles. Rainbow sprinkles. So this is fun. And this, I don't know, maybe this would be my go-to dishcloth I have made this into a dishcloth. Other than the ribbing it is a little stretchy, but it is mistake ribbing. Or it is sometimes, I've been seeing it a lot lately, called like seed stitch ribbing, because that's kind of what it is like. It's a knit two, purl two pattern, but you're one stitch off. So it is like half the time you're knitting seed stitch. So I guess either name really works for it. But so if you see both names, you know it's the same pattern. And it's fun. I like doing this. This is my second scarf so far this year doing that pattern, because that fits my whole criteria. It is reversible. You don't need edge stitches. It is simple. I can read my stitches. And fingers crossed, knock on wood, I most of the time don't have to pull that out. Every once in a while I do, but I catch it. This one here, see, I'm still stuck on this blue. This blue is driving me crazy. The blue garter stitch dishcloth. I'm like, oh, why did I mess that up? It totally ruined my plans. I wanted it to be, look at this, I'm talking about it again. You guys can tell how much this is driving me crazy. Okay, I need to stop talking about it. It's a dishcloth, Louise. It's not the end of the world. I can reknit it again, or I could not, or I guess this is a sign. If the biggest thing I have to worry about in my day-to-day is a silly washcloth, I think I'm doing okay. Anyways, but this broken rib, that does kind of meet all my criteria. But do I want to have a ribbing be my dishcloth? Look at this. I think I'm making this way harder than it needs to be, aren't I? Okay, moving on. My new summer top. I got a few more repeats done on it. The yarn is Patton's Grace. And here it is. Let me show you the right side. Look at that. Lace. I'm having so much fun knitting this. And this is, oh my gosh, see, I shouldn't say this because now I am going to jinx myself. But I've not had to rip this out yet. And I'm living dangerously. I haven't put a lifeline in, which I know I should. I should take my own advice and I should just put one in. But I'm finding I can read the stitch pattern on here. So I do know I can catch myself. If I'm going to get it mucked up, I can catch myself. So I'm living dangerously. If I come back next week and tell you a different story, you guys can say, so you can say I told you so, because I should take my own advice. Maybe I will put a lifeline in here just so I can say I am following my own rules. But anyways, I am really glad that I took the time to do the gauge swatch on this, not just for the sizing and the needle size, but to play with the pattern. Because I know now, remember I said that there was 2 spots that I thought that I could potentially mess up. Now that I know that, I'm catching myself every time, and so far I haven't made a mistake. So I'm really thinking that just taking that time to play around with that gauge swatch really paid off, because lots of times I'll start a project, and you guys, I'm sure some of you will agree with me on this too, that you start a project and you get a couple inches done and you rip it out and you start it again. And then you get going, and again, you make a little boo-boo when you take it out. So sometimes it takes like 2 or 3 starts to really get going. I can't be the only one that does that, right? I hope not. So anyways, I have not had to do that. And I'm giving all the credit to my gauge swatch. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm loving this. This yarn is really, really nice to knit with. It's not splitty. It's not overly slippery. It has a nice sheen to it. It feels gorgeous. It's 100% cotton. I really, really like it. And I'm really, really glad that I have got lots of it in my stash. So if I like this top, I can make it in many colors. So there, I will hopefully get a few more repeats done on that. I have a finish to show you. Are you ready? I feel like I need
I need to insert drum roll music here. Look at this, everybody. My sweater. It's done, but it's not done because I may have a few ends to weave in. But the body of the sweater is finished. It is all done. Look at this. So this pattern is called Soundtrack, and the designer is Marie Green of Olive Knits. This was a knit along that she hosted from it started July 1st, and the idea was to get it done within a month to August 1st. And well, I could have done that, but I kind of got sidetracked. I did the first couple of weeks really, really good, and then I got distracted. But it did show me that I could do this in a month if I had really stuck with it. But there was long time. I think there was even like a week that I really didn't knit anything on it. So I think when I showed this to you last week, I was working on sleeves. I think I was finishing up one sleeve, and I came over here and I picked up, because it's a yoke sweater, so right around here all these stitches were put on hold, and I worked down, did some decreasing, and then I just put a nice long cuff on it, and then I can roll it up if I need to, or I can leave it down to cover up my hand if it's cool. It was simple and easy. It was a really fun pattern. Top down. Okay, so top down, yoke neck. It was a yoke sweater. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, you know what I'm saying. It was fun. 2 colors. This was a slip stitch pattern. When I first saw this pattern, I assumed it was Fair Isle, and it's not. Which Fair Isle would have been fun, but this was even easier because it was a slip stitch. So you only used one color at a time, and you slip stitches. These dark gray lines, these are your slip stitches. There was some easy increasing done in here. It really was easy. It was quick and easy, and it looks really fun. And it's done, and it fits. I'm not going to try it on for you now because it is sweltering hot. And I don't want to put, this is wool and hemp is the yarn. And it is way too hot to put this on. It feels nice. The wool is a little rusticy, so if you're somebody who wants something super, super soft, this is probably not the yarn for you, unless you maybe, like I'm thinking like I could wear this. It is a little itchy, but I don't mind that because I can feel it, but it's not overly irritating to me. So I could, if I wanted to, I could just slip this over and I could wear it and I would be fine. Other people, you would want to have something on underneath. But anyways, I love it, and it's done. And I don't even know how many balls this took. 4 or 5 balls of main color that came from really, really old stash. So this makes me super happy. And even though I know it looks gray, it is kind of a bluey gray. Anyway, it does. The more I look at it, it does look gray, even in the sweater. But isn't that funny? Because when it's on a ball on the shelf, it does look more blue. But either or, it's gorgeous. It's done. And maybe, well, I don't want to wish summer away, but soon enough, I will be able to throw this on a nice fall evening and go for a walk. Finished, guys, a sweater. So I still have, because one of my goals for this year was to always have a sweater on the needle. So this one's finished, and the orange, my other lacy tops, that counts as my sweater on the needles right now. I don't know. I'm just thinking about this now. I haven't really thought about what my next sweater will be once this little summer top is done. What will I cast on? I've got yarn here. This is my Norway yarn, and this is waiting to be a colorwork sweater with some of these colors. This could be, no, it's
No, it's not going to be this. No, wait, this could have been next, but I have a better idea. I came across a bag of yarn. Will it be, I don't know if I'll start it next Monday, but soon. Okay. Sorry, yarn. This is going back on the shelf to be decoration for a little bit longer because I found a bag of yarn while I was cleaning up on the weekend, and there is a bit of a story that goes with it. And I will share that with you either next week or very, very soon. But I think that is going to be my next sweater. I have no idea what the pattern will be, but I know I want to use that yarn. It's time. It's been in my stash for a couple of years, and it is kind of special yarn, so I need to knit it. Okay, perfect. Thank you. You guys help me figure out what my next sweater is going to be. Sometimes I just need to have somebody to talk out loud too and work all my thoughts out, I think. Oh, and you know what? Talking about sweaters. I have this one here sitting here just to tell you, to remind myself to tell you. Remember this one that I finished this, I don't know, sometime this summer, earlier in the summer. This cute little crop top. I wore it to the beach on Saturday. Our knitting guild got together. Every summer we always get together at the beach and we sit and we knit. So this year was a little bit different setup, obviously, with everything that was going on. But we found a really nice shaded green space. Actually, a space that we had used last year because it's a little deceiving when we say we go knitting at the beach. I assume everybody's thinking we're in our bathing suits and under an umbrella on the sand with our feet in the water kind of thing. And that's not it at all. There's a nice little park area still within eyesight of the water. And we sit there in the shade a couple people were going to go swimming, but the water ended up being too rough. I was going to say there was no bathing suits. I did not wear a bathing suit, that's for sure. But anyways, so we just gathered near the water, social distanced, we had enough space we could all easily spread out. And we just knit the whole afternoon, and some of us stayed right till sunset. It was beautiful. I will try to post some pictures of the beach because the sunset was gorgeous. At the end of the video, I'll put in a couple pictures, and I'm sure I have a picture still. Carrie sent me that she took a couple pictures, and I was wearing this sweater. Now, you'll remember when I knit this, I said I didn't really care for it. I liked the yarn, I liked the pattern, and it fits okay, but it's a crop top. And maybe some people really, really like it, but when I put it on, I just feel really self-conscious. I think for my body style, I think I need a little extra length. I don't need it super, super long because I am pretty short, but I think I need it a little bit longer than this. I don't know. After I saw the pictures that Carrie took of me, I thought, okay, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but I still don't absolutely love it. So it was just a good learning lesson for me. Next time I know if a pattern says, how long to do the body, I know, don't follow that. Add a little extra on because I'll be more comfortable wearing it. But I can say I did wear it this summer. And it felt really nice on. The yarn was nice. And this was that Barocco, I can't remember. I'm having the hardest time remembering yarn names tonight. Okay. If anybody really needs to, it's probably discontinued because I've had it again in my stash. But if you really want to know, you can leave me a message and I can look up the ball band. But it does feel really nice. Okay, yarn is falling. That's a sign. Let's move right into the new starts for this week. Okay, I've got 2 new projects. Might as well show you the dishcloth first, right? So as I was organizing my yarn, I came across another fairly big tote of dishcloth cotton. And it was pretty full. I knew the tote was there and I knew there were some balls of cotton in there, but I didn't really realize it was as full as it was until I actually pulled it out and looked at it. And I found these 2 in here. So I thought, you know what? no time like the present. I might as well, I've just seen it. I've come across it. I might as well pull it out and cast it on. The orange, this is my scientific way of determining how much yarn is left in this ball. It feels like there is enough. I have a scale somewhere, and it eventually will come up here and get plugged in so I can use it. You know, if I could weigh it, all I need to do is weigh it, and I would know for sure if there's enough. There probably is enough for a full dishcloth, but I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to like the two together. So I did. So I'll show you what I've got cast on. Super simple diamond dishcloth. Now I'm thinking the blue garter stitch, maybe I should try striping it. I could do that. That would make it not so simple though. Anyways, look at how fun this is. Look at that. So I'm just carrying the yarns up the side, and look at, and it carries up nice. It gives it just a nice little edging on there. It's on the back side. And that's it. But I think it's so fun just seeing the stripes and the colors just work together. I like that. I mean, orange on its own would be nice. White on its own would be great, but it's like super extra great just having them all put together. This is knitting up so fast. So we'll see. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I want to try to use up as much of this yarn as I can. And I don't know, I'm kind of oh my gosh, I even hate to think of this too, but we're getting close to the middle of August, and there's this little tiny bit of me that's already starting to think ahead to fall. And I don't really want to do that because it's summer and I don't want to, you know, wish away the last part of summer. But I know some of the stores, like if you go into Michael's, they've got their Halloween, fall, pumpkins, all that kind of stuff out, plus some Christmas stuff. So it's kind of hard, and the nights are cool. It's actually really nice at the last few nights. There's been a nice breeze. You know, I don't know. We've had some cool nights, but then there's been a couple, like today was pretty warm. But anyways, you know, it's almost like you can feel fall in the air, but not quite. But anyways, I saw this orange, and I just thought, wow. So I think I'm going to try to make myself some fall dishcloths. I found some green and some purple as well. And I'm thinking, oh, this could be kind of like Halloween-y colors. So I'll be able to have Halloween and fall colored dishcloths in my kitchen all season long, which will be fun. Okay, so new start number 1 for this week. Using up some cotton. And so if you saw the picture I posted on Instagram, you would have seen these 2 balls. Oops, got needles sticking out everywhere. These balls also came from a tote of yarn that I found over in that corner, and they were just kind of stuck in there randomly with a sweater that was finished knitting. It just wasn't put together, and a new sweater that was started, and then a couple of extra balls. I know I'm still at a loss about that sweater. If these colored balls if I was planning on putting them together, I don't know. Anyways, I've pulled them out. So both of them are classic wool, and you can tell the green one's been around for a while because it's an old ball band. So emerald, and this is mercury. And I started a new double knit project, another hot mat. So there's the mercury side, and then I flip it over, and there's the emerald side. I'll just turn it. So the emerald, yeah, the color on screen, it's looking a little more bluey green, but it is really an emerald green. So what I'm doing for the double knitting, you can just see I've got like a mercury stripe. This is going to be a square pot holder. And I am going to, so on the green side, I'm going to have a gray border all the way around. And then on the inside, I guess I really am moving away from summer, because when I found this green ball, my first thing I thought of was Christmas tree. So I just Googled intarsia Christmas tree pattern on Pinterest, and a chart came up. So I just kind of reworked it. I made it a little wider. I added a trunk onto it, and then I'm double knitting it. So I haven't got the Christmas tree in there yet. But there on this side, you can see I've got, so this is my Mercury side, and I've got the start of the green border that's going to go around. So this will be a Christmas tree. So you can follow me if you want. If you can't wait till next week, you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll post some pictures as I make some progress. So I can show you, don't know how well this will show up, but that's, I just used a dot grid notebook, and I just charted it out. And then I just knit it from there. So that's exciting. So I kind of kept my new starts simple this week. Double knit pot holder and a dishcloth, because I really want to get the mitt in the sweater done. Or not done, but a good chunk on there. And I wanted to do double knitting because if you guys are part of the Fiber Friends Friday Night Knitting group over on Facebook, you will know that this coming Friday during our live knit night, I'm going to be announcing the winner of our double knitting knit along. So there's still a few days. If you haven't joined in yet, if you want even just knit a double knit coaster, you can do that, and then go over to Ravelry to the Fiber Friends group and put your finished picture on that thread. And who knows? You will most definitely end up with a gorgeous, fabulously finished double knit project of some kind, and you may win a prize too. We have over on the Fiber Friends group, so the Fiber Friends Friday Night Knit-In on Facebook. It's a closed knitting group. If you just search it, and if you would like to join us, it's a really fun group of knitters. People are posting pictures all the time and commenting and chit-chatting. And then every Friday night, I do a live knit night, and people are commenting, and it's a fun group of knitters. And we have some more knit-alongs coming up for the fall, so it's going to be lots of fun. Oh, the only thing is, if you do ask to join the Fiber Friends, there are 2 questions that you have to ask. If you don't answer the questions, you'll be declined. So if you accidentally, hit the send button too soon and you get declined, just apply and answer the questions, and we'll let you in. As long as you're a knitter and you answer those questions, you are more than welcome to join us. Okay, I think that is all my knitting for this week, you guys. I've got my 2 new starts. I'm going to carry on with my lace knitting. So what are you all working on this week? I hope you have some time to yourself. Find, some quiet time, get some knitting done or any kind of crafting. So let's chat in the comments. You can leave me comments. Let me know what you're working on. Are you close to finishing anything? Is anybody else already starting to think about fall and Christmas knits? Like, I know a lot of us are working on Christmas gifts. I don't know. Maybe it is that time of year already. Have a great week, everybody. And I will be back this weekend with another organizational journey video. So I will either see you this weekend if that is something that you're interested in seeing, or I will see you back here on Monday with 2 new starts and hopefully some progress on these ones here. So have a fantastic week, everybody, and I will see you soon.